Welcome to your weekend focus for August the 15th and the 16th, 2020. My name is Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you truly for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send me each and every day. Truly, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing me with family and friends. Absolutely. We have the 15. We're in full moon energy. We are for a few more days, right? Till early next week. So it is about releasing. It's about letting go. It's about seeing a different way forward. Evolving. Understanding where we have limited ourselves. You know, what is truly holding you back from living authentically? What is it that holds you back from just not going out there and being who you want to be? You don't dummy yourself down for any crowd, any person. You don't accept things that go against your values, your beliefs. You create. You take a chance on yourself, your talents, your gifts, your abilities. Because truly you haven't met yourself yet, that who that person is. So it's about stepping into that person. So especially with the numerology of this weekend, I mean, Saturday is an 18, Sunday is a 19. So we're looking at Saturday pulling more into ourselves, looking at our heart, our inner balance, our gifts, our talents, seeing the authentic, true you, and seeing that part of you that you want to bring out into the sunshine. On the following day, the 19 energy, the Sunday, you know, this is a time where you can actually try it out and step into it a little bit and, you know, see what happens. We also have the Uranus is going retrograde. I mean, is there a ton of planets in retrograde or what? And so this is why sometimes we feel like we're feeling like we want to run forward, but we just end up being almost in a fog and it's slow-mo, or we're not getting traction, or so that can happen because any retrograde is going to make us revisit, to understand, to take the lesson, to take in the wisdom that's going to benefit us forward in our path. And now, you know, Uranus going retrograde. Now, Uranus going retrograde, I think could bring out, because Uranus is like out of the blue, you know, stuff happens. So it could trip us back upon opportunities, friendships, you know, aims, goals, dreams, desires. You know, letting out your creative genius, perhaps. So, and we'll be having that energy until well into the new year. So I think it's like the second week in January, or maybe the third week in January. We finally come out of the retrograde, but I think it's going to show us opportunities, whether or not we take advantage of them right now, because we're going to come back through this path one more time. So there's no missed opportunities in life. Okay, just understand that. If you thought you missed the boat, or you didn't snatch onto an opportunity when it was in front of you, it may come to you now in a different package or a different look, but it really has the same potential behind it that you've always wanted, that you were striving for, the core, the essence, the balance, the foundation. Absolutely. So when we look at August 16 as being the 16 in the Tower card, know that it's almost like we're inviting that energy in a little bit to help us gain a new footing, a new understanding, a new clarity, a new way forward, a new way of expressing ourselves. And that could be through new friendships, that could be through new environments, that could be learning something new, gaining knowledge in some way. So sun is in Leo and the moon is in Cancer. So especially on the 18, being an 18, if you add up the date of Saturday, that is a day to really go within. It's about self-care. It's about that feeling of safety and security that you carry around like your bubble, right? And taking care of yourself in some way and loving yourself in some way. Or it could be close family. Absolutely. And that'll carry through the entire weekend for us. So if we add up the numerology for Sunday, it's a 19. We're moving into new beginnings, new starts. But it's the sun card, first of all, right? It's about you. It's about your dynamic. It's about your path forward, your genius creativity, your genius creativity. I've heard that twice now. So it's really tapping into your talents, your abilities, who you are, the unique you, and why you can do it, why so many others fail, because it's your path. So grab a hold of it. You're not stepping on toes, and you're not too late. Take a chance on you, and maybe you go, I don't know if it'll work. Well, that's because you haven't really let that person out yet. So, but you can do it. Absolutely. You wouldn't have the dream, you wouldn't have the desire, you wouldn't have the want if it wasn't an inner passion. See what our cards have to say. Oh, look at this. The King of Pentacles appears. Wow. King of Pentacles, he's solid. He's, if you want to talk safety, if you want to talk security, the King of Pentacles, he's the richest of them all. Absolutely. Next to the Emperor, of course. Now, if you look at this card, his crown is a living vine. So it's thinking a little bit about outside the box. It's growing your creativity. It's letting out your creative genius. There it is again. And doing something that is meant for you. It's like, you'll know it when you find it. Absolutely. You know what it is calling to you. And it's calling to you because it's yours already, for goodness sakes. But now we're also the King of Pentacles, so we do take risk, but we take educated risk. We don't just fly off and hope for the best. We've got solid plans. We've got data sheets. We've got scholars talking to us. And so we take that educated risk. And so this weekend could be a weekend where you decide to take that educated risk on yourself. You believe in yourself. And of course there's fear, and of course there's anxiety that goes with it. Absolutely, because you're trying something new, you're trying something different. And it could be the smallest of things. You could be just trying to, and I don't want to minimize this by any stretch of the imagination, because I used to be, you guys, smokers. Or if you drink too much, or you online shop too much right now, whatever it is that is actually detrimental to you as a person, as a soul, as a beautiful human being, you might want to look at those kinds of things to move forward with. And that's scary because you don't know who that person is yet. You haven't stepped into that person. So believe in yourself. You've got it inside you already. Absolutely. I don't know who that tangent was for, but your guides, your angels are working overtime through me. Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, you've already been through a lot of the knowledge that is needed. You've already picked up that wisdom. You've already got that inside of you. It may be a raw cut right now, but hey, you got to start somewhere. And you've got enough inside of you to know how to move forward, to start the process, to take the next step, to make a commitment to yourself, to go for a dream, a desire, a want. No matter how small, no matter how ginormous it is. And please don't put a glass ceiling on with the energy the way it is right now. Please don't do that. Dream big. And don't worry, we'll be grounded here. Because we've already done the knowledge. Now we also have this connection to God, our angels, our guides. So talk to them. Ask for wisdom. Ask for safe passage. And those things will come to you. Of course, you got to actively get out there and seek, too. You got to do the work. You can't just sit there and wait for the doorbell to ring, because that doesn't happen too often where somebody comes and rings your doorbell. You have to get out there and you have to meet, talk, whatever it is that you need to do in order to go forward. You might be great in the crafts and whatnot, but you could never market yourself. So all of a sudden you meet somebody who is great at marketing things, but they have no skill themselves, and you work out some kind of an agreement, and all of a sudden life is starting to open up in some abundant way that you never thought possible before. Page of Swords. I don't know who I'm doing the personal reading for, but you know who it is, and maybe it could be several of you. Page of Swords. I love the Page of Swords, and I hate the Page of Swords. Because the Page of Swords says, take a risk on yourself. Just do something for the sake of doing it. Just get the energy flowing. Take a chance. Take a risk. Just get something happening. That's the Page of Swords. And you're thinking and you're scheming and you're planning and you're plotting, and that's the Page of Swords. Now, the Page of Swords is also a very young energy. So we don't really think things through yet. We will in time. When we fall on our face enough times, we, make a fool of ourselves quite a few times. We start to learn. We start to pick it up. We start to think things through to the next step. And so this is where we can step into something a little bit too spontaneous, with little regard for the true outcome, giving it no future thought. And it could be very dangerous. On the other hand, where it's placed, it could be very beneficial. She also opens up the portal to God, your angels, your spirit guides. So we have two cards here that really allow us to step into prayer, meditation, conversation, communication with our angels, our guides, and our God. So use this energy to take a little bit of a quiet time, to meditate, to pray, to just have a small conversation with seemingly yourself, and see what arises. I really do feel that I'm going into personal reading mode tonight, so I'm not sure who this was meant for, but I think it could be quite a few of us. Think outside the box. Grow your dream. Have a belief in yourself. Okay, the cards felt like they needed to be mixed up a bit. So mixed up a bit they got, and we have choices. Make the best choices. Make the best choices. So it is about stepping back a little bit and thinking things through. We started with the King, obviously, so we really need to think before we act. But we don't want to think to the point where we talk ourselves out of it, out of a fear, out of an anxiety, that we don't allow those choices to remain, because, we go into fight or flight. We start to stress. What if we fail? Well, what if you fail? No, you pick yourself up and you try again. The chances are, with this energy supporting us right now, and if you've watched me for the last 5 or 6 or 7 years, you know that when that I can deliver the worst of news, but allow you to move through it with your sanity intact. But right now, the energy is so strong, supporting you in really standing in your truth, to let the creative genius out. Let's see what the book has to say. Make the best choices. So human nature comes with a great responsibility. Free will. To make the choices and accept the consequences of one's actions, words, and thoughts. Everyone makes the choice to accept situations as they are or take responsibility to change them. Make the decisions that are best for you, and you will never be able to please everybody. Choose your actions based on your own personal values. Regret nothing. Your choice determines the consequences. So that's kind of powerful, huh? Regret nothing. Make the decision for your best. Your best. Everything. Happiness, balance, joy. Make the decision for your best. Everything. Regret nothing. And your choice determines the consequences. So, the mantra today is I take responsibility for my choices. That could open up some inner learning about yourself that will truly help you going forward. With Uranus starting the retrograde, all the planets actually in retrograde, it seems. I think is it Mars is gearing up to go retrograde too. Anyways, choose for your best interest. And many times we think we do, and in hindsight it didn't work out for whatever reason, but that's only because your knowledge grew. Okay, that option was definitely not available at the time, or it was a very weak option at the time because you hadn't gone through the learning, and now you have the wisdom. So know that your wisdom is like layers upon layers. So embrace that talent, that ability, that special thing about you. That thing that'll make you jump out of bed in the morning. You can't wait to start the day. What holds you back from living the authentic you? New beginnings. New beginnings. Okay. Cleansing, newness, grateful, promise, new birth. You cannot climb a mountain if you will not risk a fall. Robin tells you it's now time to pull yourself from the sludge of the past, to wipe yourself clean, to mend the wounds and scratches that occurred through the journey. Your angels and guides will be on hand to help. It is a great day to offer your gratitude for what you do have, and for knowing that you won't be let down if you ask, believe, and then expect the changes to occur in your life. Yes, there is an everything happens for a reason thinking, even during painful experiences. But the loss always evolves into a gain of some kind. Sometimes we've experienced a passing, to hear of a birth announcement or a pregnancy, or broken up with someone, to start dating someone so much more compatible for us that we wondered what we saw in the past person. Death of situations always evolves into a promise of new birth and new beginnings. So if you can see through the clouds of despair, putting blankets over a situation, blinding yourself, can cause you now to see through the heartache. Emotion is truly energy in motion. And since everything is energy, money, love, work, the universe feels the vibration changing in your thoughts, and it can change into wonderful things if you allow it to do so. Robin always comes back to the same place each springtime. It's nature's way. Robin may be telling you that you are in need to review your childhood, to see where you may have stored away deep within your soul, to see if there is forgiveness that needs to take place, or maybe you need to look up an old childhood friend. And I never really saw the robin before as like kind of a full moon energy, but it is about releasing in order to allow the new experiences to come into being. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.